Okay, it's kind of a dream, and it's finally happening. I'm leaving the studio in Hollywood and taking the show on the road. First, my girlfriend and I are going to Norway to see family. And as you know, there are absolutely no waves there. And then we're headed to Portugal to cover the Rip Curl Pro event. So stoked. All right, I got to catch a plane. It's the 2023 MEO Rip Curl Pro Portugal. And last year, so using the surf forecast and analyzing some surf stats, I'm gonna make my WSL fantasy picks. I'll take Samuel Pupo, who's surfing with a lot of speed, doing huge airs. I actually saw him do a 5-foot air yesterday. So let's congratulate Sandbanks for winning the 2023 Hurley Pro Sunset Beach. If you want a chance at the Hall of Fame trophy, just go to oldsurfdad.com to register. Let's...
Yeah, I think the forecast looks actually pretty decent. There is some weird wind days.
I think for the first week, depend the wind. Yeah, I think the wind is kind of like sucks for like a few days, but I don't know. They change a lot, you know. So today is supposed to be windy, but it's perfect.
Other than Griffin Colapinto last year and John in 2016, recent history shows it's been a Brazilian storm at SUPERTUBOS. Felipe and Gabriel have won in Portugal, and Idolo took rare back-to-back championships at SUPERTUBOS in 2018 and 2019. Now, I know some of you make picks based on past results and the stats associated with them. I've compiled all of that at oldsurfdad.com. For example, here's an interesting reveal. Lakey sits atop the women's SUPERTUBOS power rankings with 2 final finishes in the last 2 years. On the men's side, Kanoa has alternated between quarters and semis each of the last 4 events. Now, I share my fantasy takes on the site on a page called Fantasy Radar, where I break down my top pick, my dark horse, and more. There's emojis and there's opinions. In fact, my just don't pick in the men's category is my favorite surfer, and it's heartbreaking. Check it out. And for those of you still in survival, good for you. You can check the Portugal survival stats. For example, did you know Kalohe has survived 6 of 6 or 100% of the time in Portugal, while Yago is 0 for 2. Check it all out at oldsurfdad.com or in the description below. All right, starting in Tier A with the women's, I've got Carissa Moore, Molly Picklum, and Tyler Wright to choose from. I'm going to take Molly Picklum because I've seen her at SUPERTUBOS every single day, getting a lot of sessions in, catching probably more waves than anyone, and hitting the lip harder and throwing more spray. So she's going to be my Tier A pick. All right, in women's Tier B, we have Gabriella Bryan, Carolyn Marks, Brisa Hennessy, Lakey Peterson, Betty Lou, Tatiana, Caitlin Simmers, Steph Gilmore, and Isabella Nichols. Now, we don't want to forget that Lakey Peterson has been in the finals twice, but I'm not going to pick her here. I'm going to take Tatiana Weston Webb, even though she faces Gabriella Bryan in the first round. I think that's a tough matchup. And I also like Caitlin Simmers. Caitlin Simmers has been ripping out here and owning this beach break. I think she's going to have a great run. In women's Tier C, we have Sally Fitzgibbons, Macy Callanan, local Portuguese surfer Teresa Bonvalo, Courtney Conlog, Sophie McCullough, and Yolanda Hopkins. Now, the only one I've actually seen surfing SUPERTUBOS has been Courtney Conlog. She's definitely putting in the sessions, and she has some incentive. She's trying to make the cut, and she's had 2 really bad results. I'm going to pick Courtney just because I think she's fired up and hungry. And men's Tier A, there's a lot of great picks here. And I like the way that Kylie Belli and Leonardo Fioravanti are surfing right now. But I'm going to go with experience and take Felipe Toledo. And I'm also going to go with speed and radicalness and go with Joao Chianca. And men's Tier B, I have to pick Elo Ferreira, who I've been talking about all week. He's been surfing SUPERTUBOS nonstop. I'm going to back that up with Gabriel Medina, who's probably one of the favorites here. I'll also take the ultra-consistent Kanoa Igarashi, who's been in either the semifinals or the quarterfinals for the last 4 years. And finally, I'll take Samuel Pupo, who's surfing with a lot of speed, doing huge airs. I actually saw him do a 5-foot air yesterday, and he's been in the barrel every time I look in the ocean. I think he's coming in hot. In men's Tier C, I've watched Jake Marshall and Maxine Husino surf every day at SUPERTUBOS. But I'm going to take the experience of Kolohe Andino and local Portuguese surfer Frederico Moraes. I think with his wild card, he's going to cause a lot of upsets. Hey everyone, thanks for watching, but there's a lot more coverage coming, like this interview. So it's Old Surf Dad here with Jack Robinson.